Welcome to Home Cinema and Tech Review. In this video I'm going to be creating a cinema setup combined two boomboxes. You heard me right. Normally, a lot of people just place these things around the house, around the pool, or on the summer times when they travel, when they camping. But most of the time, nobody talks about home cinema, which is basically probably these things are not intended to be used for. But in my case, I'm going to do something different. So you're going to be witnessing a delay issue, if there is any, and I've tested it so far. I will give you my conclusion, but why I've just chose this route and buy two of these. By the way, this video is not sponsored by anyone, so hard-earned cash and purchase myself. I'm going to be using these for my home cinema setup, and I will be telling you my reasons. Let me just start with the first reason. These things are not expensive and each of them has 80 watts of RMS, good amount of power. And you can buy 160 watts versions of these. So in my case, I have 160 watts of RMS, which is probably quality TVs have 40 to 50 watts. So I have triple the power of any TV and probably way better bass sound from any TV. Any projector, of course. Most of the projectors have 30 to 45, maybe up top 60 watts. I have 160 here. And you can purchase more expensive, even more bigger versions of these. Each will be 160 watts. So you have lots of options. And you can buy a couple of more to connect each other. And I've tested this so far, so there is not much of an extreme delay and you'll be happy with the results. But we're going to be testing all these in the upcoming sections of this video. The second reason, the portability. I can take each one of them single unitly, like if I want to use just one when traveling, 18 hours of battery life will be, having me all day long, maybe even sleep times, more than all day long probably. But still, this has 18 hours of life. And we can charge our portable devices like smartphones from the USB port here. We got an adapter port and we got an aux port in case if you want to use it with a cable. These things are synced now. Since it's easy to use these things synced up, left and right, each way you can use it. So I hit a button, both of them acts in the same time, hit again, because I'm going to be telling you this. You might be wondering, home cinema setup, what the hell are you going to do with an RGB speaker? You see, you can close it down. So if you're not a party person and if you don't like the RGB and if you're watching movies, you don't want to be disturbed by the lights, it's easy. So if you like the RGB, you can go back to an RGB style. I think this is a versatile setup considering the soundbar prices. I bought two of these from probably $240 at the discount time, and I think it's kind of like a bargain. Instead of a soundbar setup with a big soundbar unit in front of my TV or below my TV, I need to find a place to place the soundbar, and especially after that you need to find a place for your subwoofer unit. One more thing is probably an issue for people. If you're using an ultra short throw projector, where are you going to use your soundbar? Because if your projector is big, it's going to be taking probably 80% of your TV unit's depth. So you probably won't have the space for a big quality soundbar because they are thick. If they have bass inside, they are going to be thicker. And some people says that, where am I going to put my center speaker? And it's a good question. But there are always solutions, and I'm going to be trying to probably demonstrate as much as I can. For my setup, you can place these speakers like this. Probably, let me just put it like this. I know it's not symmetrical. If you're a symmetrical, obsessed person, the handlers will be on the single side. You can't do it reverse because there is no leg here. Legs are only in the same direction. But since we have the 1/4 inch tripod mount, you can place them on a good stand and you can put it on like a tower speaker style from each side of your TV or your projection setup, or the corner of the rooms. You can place it high right to your ears. You don't have to place these things below, way below your ear level. So you're going to catch a good amount of audio. Believe me when I say so, because I've tested it and I am quite happy with the results, and probably I will be using for some time. I'm not sure. The channel is growing and I'm testing always new devices that I love. One more thing, you can go camping. You can go probably, you can go to your bedroom and use these devices like a bedroom setup. And probably you don't have to take two of them. One is enough for the bedroom. If you're watching a movie, 80 watts up close will be enough. Like you can put it on the bed and you can take something like a 1BT2 Max New and you can put it on the side and you can reflect the movie on any wall, any surface, and you can enjoy the 80 watt RMS just with a single unit. But if you want extreme sound level or just, living room setup, probably this would work. So without further ado, I've told you all my reasons to purchase this. It's not cheap, but it's not expensive considering the power output we are getting, because most of the time sound bars starts from 300 watts to 400 watts level, entry level wise for this price range, and their sound bars mostly like treble volume, like most of the bass is coming from the subwoofer, but these units will give you like a proper stereo feeling. And if you include a couple of more, like 4, probably you will be getting like a quite good surround sound, but it's not going to be 5.1 or 7.1, Dolby HD, Dolby Atmos. I'm not against those technologies, but for me, for casual users and also interesting experience, you can connect these two devices to your consoles, to your smartphones. You can pick it up to the kitchen. You can take it out to the garden. You can use it all day long. And IPX7, why not? You can use it even in the shower maybe. I don't know. It's your options. I'm not against it, but I'm not going to be using that probably. But on the boat, while I'm swimming with the boat, traveling, this could be fun. So without further ado, I've told you all my reasons. And if you think it could be applicable, just watch the rest of the video and see the box content, technical specs, and also the latency test and somewhat of a real life use scenario. But in this video, I'm not going to be focusing on too much of a sound, bass, and quality. I can make a couple of demo shots, but definitely these devices are quite good and there are a lot of reviews out there. I'm going to be focusing on the home cinema setup and the latency mostly. So if you're wondering much more, you can subscribe to the channel. That would be great. So I will be leaving you with the rest of the video and the tests. In this part of the video, we're going to take a look at the box content of the Anker Soundcore Rave PartyCast. It's by Anker, and the most important part, they show it on the box. It can be used in a multiple series of connections with the app and with the device capabilities. Let's open up the box. It's a long box, so I put it on the sideways. Maybe it's going to be easier to take it out and to show you in the frame, of course. We got a protective carton layers, and I got the holder, and speaker is coming. And do I have anything left? I have a small box inside of this big, huge box. So what's inside this box? Let's take a look. And we got Soundcore support, how it's going to lay out, and how do we sound Soundcore. So this is kind of like grade or evaluation paper, if ever you want to return it or not. And the power adapter, which is a small piece. It looks like an Apple adapter, by the way. Let's open this up. So it looks like a MacBook adapter. Basically, what we have is 15 volts and 3 amps, which means 45 watts of power. And can I open it? Yes. And we got 2 different types. Since I'm in Europe, I will be using this. I think it looks like this. I turn it with first enthusiasm, but This is the adapter. So it's small. It's also a good thing for a mobile product. So let's take this thing a little bit of side. Open this. And after the package, this is a big stuff. So it can stay like this, and also on the side we have feet here for rubber feet. They feel quite good, sturdy, and on the long run they will be probably durable. It feels like that way. We have a connection here probably that says Anker. Let's see if it opens. Yep. We have a USB port, DC power in port, and aux port. This is quite a bit of powerful socket, so I needed to push it a lot. And we got Soundcore text and texture of a golf ball, sort of. We got a center speaker and two of the side speakers, Soundcore text and Soundcore text again here. So everything is finished. If I put it on the side, we can see the Soundcore text and next button, play button, volume up and down, and the power button here. Since this is the first time, battery is not full. So this is how it looks. And I believe the power section is kind of like finished. Since it's on the ground, it's nothing small. My hand is about 24 centimeters, 23 to 24. So that means it's very high. So it's nothing small compared to the adapter. Definitely, it's a big quality feeling product. Like when you hold it, it's heavy. So we're going to take a deep dive and sound test of this device. This is the open box section. This section is over. So in this part of the video, I'm going to show you the delay of this device and how do I generally look at things. It's not going to be scientific, but basically YouTube has a lot of videos. The audio video sync test can be helpful, and we got like a couple of tests more. Let me just go back to this audio video sync test. Let's go back to that and hit the button, and I will open up the volume. Just take a look at the red blinking and hitting. I don't think the latency is extreme, so you can definitely use this setup easily. That's why I've chosen it. And I know already this, but also the Bluetooth latency demo, this guy's explained, Brand Butterworth. Let me just go back. You can also try it yourself. Let me just dial down the volume, and I will go a little bit forward because he explains the latency terms. And let's start. So this is 0 milliseconds.
Sync, I hope. And you can see if I pull out this clave, that the clave should be in sync. The picture of the clave should be in sync with the sound. Now,
this was the start of the video, and it starts with the 0 milliseconds delay. And this was very close. That means it's probably 0 to 10 milliseconds of radio. So you can definitely use it while watching movies and also TV shows. This is the most important part of the lip sync. So I believe that's a go. That's an okay for home cinema setup.
So latency codec.
33 milliseconds.
You might be able to see a difference in the lip sync, but maybe not. This is only about 1 frame of difference, and here again is the clave.
Like it talks in this video, 33 milliseconds is also like if you count it on region of America, region 1 probably, 29 to 30 frame for each video. If you're like a cinematic guy, 24p, that's a different issue, but 30 milliseconds is roughly a 1 frame. So if you can really feel that 1 frame, then you're an enthusiast and you're looking for perfection in everything. But basically, if you're just a casual user, this is way to go. In this part of the video, we're going to be testing the sound bass quality. This is a 25 square meter room. Basically, it's filled with computers and equipments of stuff that I shoot in daily basis. So this is the copyright free, and the music is running by Gentrax, and I will be playing it. So I think this is enough amount of sound test because basically we got good amount of treble and we got good amount of bass and we got the depth of the music. Right now the acoustics of this room still not completed. We got like also isolations waiting because we have painted the studio. Just focus on the level of quality on general. I am not using it home, so there are not much of a carpets and stuff to block the vibration, reverb, like acoustic problems we have. But basically the quality is, for me, awesome for this price. So I think this section is over. Welcome to the end of this video, where the conclusion is happening and I will be showing you what's positive, what's negative about this concept. So first of all, I'm not recommending this setup as a perfect stereo or surround sound setup, but there are positives and negatives things to consider before making a purchase, and I've made these two speakers, my daily bass home cinema setup, and I can use them anywhere. I'm coming to that point. So the positives are these two are separately usable, which means if any of them breaks or out of battery, they have 18 hours of battery each one, I can just take another one and play the music. The second thing, I can move them around, put it right beside the TV vertically or right beside the TV unit like this. This is the size of Xbox Series X, by the way. So if you have a tripod holder, you can put it like this on a tripod stand. And if you buy an aesthetic stand, it will look like just a tower speaker, and you can angle them right for your ears to get the most surround effect from your stereo setup. And one more thing, you can buy a couple of more and you can put them around the corners of the room and you can create a surround sound setup. By telling you surround sound, I don't mean Dolby Atmos or any kind of like 5.1, 7.1 professional level of surround sound audio for cinema setup, but basically you get alternatives and you don't have to buy each of the Anker speakers like big sizes. You can also purchase two small speakers for the back, two big speakers for the front. And you don't have to go this route. Each models, Rave PartyCast series has 80 watts. Right now I have 160 watt RMS, but you can buy each one 160 watts. So that way you will have 320 watt and that'll be probably enough for everybody. These are the positives. And these two speakers have huge amount of battery inside. They can last each one 18 hours. In the same time you're using it 18 hours, of course. But we got USB port at the back. What that means, if you have some sort of portable projector that cannot last maybe more than 2 hours long movie times, you can power your portable projector from these two beasts. So definitely you can use your projectors outside for a very long time, more than a couple of movies. They can handle it with ease. And don't worry, I told you in the beginning of the video, but if you're bothered with the lights, you can click a button, a single one, and both of them will act in the same time, and you can close their lights. That way they won't be bothering you with their LEDs. But in the purpose of this video, more lightful and, you know, look, I think, cool for this stage. But basically when I watch movies, I close them. But for the purpose of the video, I will leave them open. So one other positive thing, you can carry from room to room. That's also one good thing. And something that might be maybe not important for you, but if you have small kids and if you have neighbors, if you're living in a flat, this will be helpful, believe me. These speakers are portable, which means you can take them and get them close. Not to your face like this, but you can put on a table much more closer to you than your TV unit. Or you can just take them and place somewhere closer to you. By the way, when you do that, what happens? Proximity effect both applies for the light, for the sound. So if you get close to the sound source, it'll be acting like an earbud or your headphone. So you don't have to open up the full volume to disturb your neighbors. And for what that means is, actually you're going to get like 25%, but you're going to hear from far away maybe 50% audio. So you have probably wasting some of the audio to the room. I know it creates some sort of depth into the room, like the bass volume fills the room entirely and gets you the feeling of the more cinema effect. But believe me when I say so, if you get the speakers closer to you, you'll get a feeling. Definitely. Vibration, bass, everything increases because these things are big. So that's also, I think, in my case, plus if you have small kids, sleeps earlier than you, or if you don't want to bother your neighbors. All these positives, isn't there any negatives? Yes, there are negatives. For the price of these two devices, around 250 in the discount times, probably you can get a decent soundbar and wireless subwoofer combination. Probably models are around, they declare 4 amps and 300 watts level. This setup is 160, and if you go bigger models, you'll be probably more than double the price because price increases like little exponentially. So probably you will get a little bit more power out of a regular soundbar than these. But there's a but, and it's an important one. You can't carry your soundbar, and most of the power of the soundbars are from the treble and the center unit. Let's just say 3 out of 300 watts of soundbar and the bass combination, subwoofer combination, subwoofer is 100 watt RMS, soundbar is 200 RMS, which means majority of the power is treble sound, not about the depth, not about the bass. But most important thing that you need in the cinema experience is the bass. So if you don't go expensive route of professional level, for me, it's about probably $400 and above, $500 range, kind of like soundbar setups. So if you don't go that route, you'll be happy with the sound amount and the bass probably. But I'm not talking about technology. So you'll be missing the Dolby Atmos or any kind of like Dolby HD or any kind of digital technology that supports surround sound, and they have like some sort of angle systems. They bounce from the ceiling and just creates around surround sound. But believe me, if you place a stereo setup good angled to your face or your ears exactly, you will get a surround sound feeling. And if you add just 2 small Anker Soundcore extra speakers, you'll definitely get a surround sound setup from this. So you'll be missing some stuff, and the soundbar and alternative systems will be connected through, again with Bluetooth, but if you connect them from optic cables or HDMI, you won't have any latency. But for this setup, each one of these speakers connect one from to another, and also the main speaker connects to your sound source, in my case my projector, but it could be your TV, so that there will be a delay. And in the beginning of the video I showed you delay is around probably 30 millisecond range, and I'm not testing it thoroughly like exact number. There are devices for that, there are programs and apps like getting the feedback from mic and stuff, but let's just call it, you can't really feel it. But if you're so picky and just focus on that, yes, you can feel it. So if you're a casual movie watcher, 30 milliseconds is just like one frame, because every movie just from 24p is 24 frame, 29 or 30p for America probably 30 frames. So you're missing out just one frame in the audio, and it's really not feelable too much. If you're not so picky and casually watching, the lips are quite syncing, and I showed you in the early part of the video. So, but there is a delay. So if you're a true gamer and fast-paced games is your thing, so let's just say you are going to match this setup with your ultra short throw, high gaming capability, low latency, like 4 milliseconds gaming projector, or you're going to connect this setup to an OLED TV. Well, then you will feel, because you're picky and you're focused on the technology and the image and everything. So if you're not a casual viewer anymore, so you can feel it, but it's, in my case, I don't think that's a bothering level of latency. So there will be an issue on that. If you're so picky, just consider this. But the positives, I think, outcomes the negative, because the portability, room to room, home to home, outside setup, waterproof. You can use these things on the boats. You can take one of them and connect to anything. And you can also connect these devices through cable, like stereo cable, if you don't want any latency, but probably the second speaker will be paired with the first one. So you will have to connect the first one. I didn't try that scenario, but still you probably can do it. Just input one and then the other one gets the signal from that. So there will be probably less delay in that setup, if that is possible. But for me, the positives, like huge battery capacity, using your projector powered by these devices, charging your phone, camping, everything could be done with these. And these are kind of like child-proof in my case, because if you have a small kid, you definitely understand what I'm saying. If you have small kids, they tend to hit things, play with things. So definitely these things with metal casing in the front will help you to protect your hardware. And you can place them anywhere around the corner of the room. Definitely fill the room with audio. I hope this video helped. And I'm not saying this is the perfect audio solution, but this might help you to create a different setup, which has far more options than buying a regular soundbar and buying a regular combination. Don't get me wrong, I bought two of the stereo speakers and connected to my Fosse audio amplifier, and I'm happy with them, but I'm using them right now in my studio. So you'll be watching some videos I've showed you earlier in the channel. So you'll be seeing more professional level audio setups with professional stereo speakers, wood speakers from JMO and GBL, kind of like known brands. But definitely those setups are difficult for kids, because when they hit a speaker, they put a hole in them. And protecting the speakers and also the kids, because the tower speakers tend to, wobble. And if a child can take them down, there could be problems. But these things are solid and quite heavy with the battery inside. So even if the kids take them, you won't be bothering them. Like, they are not extremely expensive and far more durable than we ever imagined. I think this video helped, and let me know if this video helped you or not, and at least just remind you some sort of thinking early. Maybe you thought of that, but you never really had a chance, or you thought it is a difficult option, expensive option. One last thing is, the most of the ultra short throw projectors, this is a good speakered one, 30 watt RMS, and look at the size of this thing. How much bass they can put it in, because also there's a power unit, laser unit, optical units, fans, cooling, CPU, GPU, and every kind of thing is inside. But here we have a big bass and two trebles, kind of like big speakers, and the depth, the drive size for it. So you will definitely, at least if you buy one of these, or maybe big one, you will be happy with the results. You can also purchase just 160 watts, one of them, and put it underneath the TV unit. Or you can put some sort of a leveling device under your projector and put it under your projector. Let me know what you think at the comment section below. And if you have kind of like any setup ideas, just ask questions, because if you ask questions, I'll make them as tutorials. This is my hobby channel. I don't get paid. This is not sponsored. I purchased these two, like my many of other videos. My opinions are my own. I am sharing the knowledge as much as I, learn along the way of 20 years. And I hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye from Home Cinema and Tech Review.